Hi! Happy International Women's Day, everyone, and welcome to AT&T Unlocked Games, a live gaming showcase and competition devoted entirely to women developers. I'm Kelly, and I'm so excited to be here in the second year of this program, helping to shine a light on some rising stars in the field of game development.
Hi everyone, I'm Brooke and I'm thrilled to be a part of this program as well. We're going to take a look behind the scenes and give you a glimpse of the hard work it takes to create all your favorite games.
Yeah, it's a lot of hard work. While women account for almost half of gamers, they only represent about 24% of game developers. What? AT&T's Unlock Games is trying to change that and provide a platform for women within this exciting field. So, after taking applications from developers across the country, today, 6 finalists are going to showcase their work to our amazing team of end bosses. These 5 experts from across the gaming spectrum will help choose our winning developer, who will receive a $100,000 grand prize to complete their game, as well as promotional support from AT&T.
Our end bosses will also help us select a runner-up, who will receive a $20,000 grant as well as further support to help complete and market their title.
But wait, there's more. In addition, everyone watching at home is going to have the chance to vote live throughout the show for the Gamer's Choice Prize. This winner will receive a $10,000 grant to finish their game along with promotional support from AT&T. Gamer's Choice voting has officially opened, and it's going to remain live throughout the stream. You can support your favorite game by visiting attunlockgames.com/vote and making your choice. Watch the chat for an easy link to the voting page, and we'll also reiterate that link to vote throughout the stream. Please keep in mind, you only get one vote. So be sure to use it wisely and stick around for a glimpse at all of the amazing games. We're going to announce the winner at the end of the show, so stay tuned.
Today, you will get to meet 6 incredible women developers and take a sneak peek at the gameplay footage from each of their upcoming titles. After each finalist's video reveal, we'll go to a roundtable discussion with our end bosses to break down their favorite aspects of each title as well as their hands-on impressions after playing them. Using the feedback from the end bosses, we'll reveal our runner-up and grand prize winner at the end of our stream. If you're excited to check out some of these amazing games yourself, which you should be, keep an eye on the chat for details on how you could win a $100 Steam gift card.
Okay. I really want to get to the games, but before we do, let's meet our 5 end bosses. Our first end boss is the incoming general manager of Phoenix Labs Vancouver, Renee Gittins. She's a multidisciplinary leader with expertise in software engineering and creative direction, and also sits on the IGDA board of directors. She's a dedicated advocate and connector for developers and diversity within the game industry. Hi, Renee.
Hi, so honored to be here today.
Next up is Gordon Bellamy, a professor at the USC Games program and head of the USC Bridge Incubator program. He received a Lifetime Achievement Award in 2018 at GDC and has been recognized for his 25 years of contributions to the game industry and culture. He's also the CEO of Gay Gaming Professionals. Welcome, Gordon.
Thank you. Privileged to be here, and great to see the chat so huge too. Hello, chat.
Lisette Teetry-Montgomery is an art director with over 21 years of industry experience and 13 shipped titles, including being the art director on one of my favorite games, Psychonauts 2. She is a passionate advocate for diversity within the game industry and serves on the board of directors of Gameheads, a game development accelerator program for Oakland youth. Hi, Lisette.
Hello, everyone. I'm so excited to see who wins tonight.
Jay Powell is a gaming expert with over 20 years in the industry who works to build positive relationships between various forms of media and the game space through his consulting firm, the Powell Group. Today, the firm tracks over 4,000 developers and more than 750 publishers globally, alongside producing the Indie Game Business podcast. Welcome. I think you're muted. You with us, Jay?
And I was muted. Very sorry. All right.
There you are.
I was like, what the? No, thanks for having me. And like I said, I'm going to do my best to, one, not mute myself again, and then, not get distracted by chat. Thanks, everybody.
And Kimberly Corbett is currently the SVP of Digital Publishing at Warner Brothers Games, where her team supports titles like Harry Potter Magic Awakened, Game of Thrones Conquest, and Mortal Kombat 11. Kimberly's expertise is in user acquisition and building proprietary publishing automation tools that leverage data and auction science. Hey, Kimberly!
Hi, everybody. I'm super excited to be here today supporting women game developers. I can't wait to see more today. Thank you.
Amazing. Well, we'd also like to take a moment to thank everyone who submitted their upcoming games. We received entries from women across the country, ranging from students to game industry vets who have launched their own indie studios. In each case, we were blown away by their creativity and passion.
Yeah, you made a game! Oh my god! That's amazing!
Big deal!
So before we get into our 6 finalist games, let's take a look at some of our honorable mentions for this year's AT&T Unlock games. Oh my gosh, all of those look so good.
So great.
Another big thank you to all the women who submitted these exciting games. You can already see the huge variety of titles created by women in game development, and we're so proud to have the chance to show them to you.
Personally, I know I'll be following along as some of these games are released so I can check them out for myself. They look amazing.
They really do. Okay. Now, let's take a look at our first finalist, an innovative and educational platformer from developer Vicky Way of Red Star Interactive.
Hey, I'm Vicky Way, the founder of Red Star Interactive. I created this company with the mission of giving players the experience of immersive worlds through wacky and unique games. For Get a Grip Chip and the Body Bugs, I'm the lead developer. I help to design our buttery smooth controls for Chip, and I script our environment interactions, design the puzzles, and decorate each set to make the worlds feel engaging and alive. I'm super excited to introduce you to Get a Grip Chip and the Body Bugs. It takes place inside the human body and brings the main character, Chip, through your goofy guts, the digestive system. Throughout the game, you'll need to traverse the digestive system by grappling to and launching off red blood cells while finding and fighting off the 3 body bugs to clear out your insides. You'll also collect your body's neurons to unlock the knowledge needed for Chip to reactivate the digestive system. Even though the Body Bugs is taking place in the human body, the goops and guts are presented in a really cool illustrated way to make the game fun, a little squidgy, and relatable. Body Bugs is inspired by the TV and movies of my childhood that combined entertainment and education, like The Magic School Bus, Osmosis Jones, and Carmen Sandiego. And for those that remember, the lemonade stand, which I think secretly inspired me to start my own game studio. I hope that Get a Grip chip and the Body Bugs brings back that same magic and inspires people to play and be curious the same way I was and still am. Thanks for watching this little snippet of Get a Grip chip and the Body Bugs. I can't wait to show more and bring you into this wacky little world that I've created.
Wow, I can't stop smiling. That reminded me of my childhood too. We are going to bring in our first finalist, Vicky, to discuss her game at Get a Grip Chip and the Body Bugs. Welcome.
Hi, thank you. Hi, Brooke. Thank you so much for hosting. And thank you, Renee, Gordon, and Lizette for playing Body Bugs. And I'm so excited to talk Body Bugs and game making together.
Yeah, I think we are just as excited to talk about it. So we're going to start off with Renee. Renee, for everyone who has tested Body Bugs, the game's addictive platform has been a particular highlight. For a game focused on education, how do you ensure the title is still entertaining enough to get that information across?
Yeah, absolutely. I think that's really good question. In general, I think that having the gameplay integrated with that educational material is great. And I can see the inspirations from Magic School Bus and other similar types of entertainment. You know, I was really delighted by how much I enjoyed Body Bugs' grappling hook platforming action and how you got the satisfaction of getting that knowledge and that entertainment as you completed those levels. Vicky, could you tell us what inspired you to make this game?
Yeah, so I really wanted, so like I said, I was inspired by Magic School Bus and like games like actually the Lemonade Stand, if anyone remembers that, and Carmen Sandiego. So I think there's like a great story there. They all have great stories and a journey that you go on. So in this case, this is Chip's journey down into the depths of the digestive system as like a synthetic white blood cell, and basically Chip's mission. I wanted Chip to like go on a mission so that like the player could go on a mission and like wake up these dormant white blood cells and like fight off the body bugs. Like everyone's gotten ill before, like gotten food poisoning, and so I thought like people could relate to this type of story and like fighting off body bugs, like, you know, spring and fall allergies, like they take place like in your nasal passage, and so that was one of the inspirations. It's like life essentially was really inspirational.
Oh, awesome.
Amazing. Alrighty, Gordon, Body Bugs take players on deep into the human body. How do you think they did translating that in levels that are fun to play?
Oh, well, it was fun to play first, and my was actually goose down, and so I was all about like a game exploring, you know, my health and breathing. I think because that great mechanic. So I'm also not a jumper. And so that grappling mechanic for me was just super organic, exactly the way that I wanted to get around and navigate spaces. That's how I thought it was so super fun. Like for me, it was like the play first and the education was sort of a tableau. I mean, the question is this, and you're actually in this moment right now because we're in this room. I see, and rising, 8,000 viewers, the most people ever to see the Body Bugs at one time is right now. My question to you is, how are you planning to market this game to bring people into the community, and who are you trying to appeal to? Because they're watching, they're right now, they're right here. How do you want to speak to them?
Yeah, hi all 8,000 people. I'm so glad you're all here. And so I really want to take this opportunity with AT&T Unlocked Games and like where Body Bugs is right now. This is the opportunity for community building. And I think I can take this and like reach out to streamers and reach out to other players, including like the educational side. One of the challenges we face in community building is reaching out to schools and teachers and getting Body Bugs into the schools. So I think reaching out to streamers is like a great opportunity because this is a watching moment and a playing moment for those that will see body bugs. Like, you'll learn something and you'll be inspired. I hope I can like actually inspire people to both play more games and like some really unique games like body bugs with the grappling, and like take those educational moments as well.
I'm going to follow up really specifically. Where do they find it? They're watching now. They're curious about the bugs. Where do you wish they would go?
Absolutely. So actually, spoilers. So I'm releasing this on to bring this to as many communities as possible. So it will be on Steam, it will be on Switch, it will be on Xbox, it will be on Android, it will be on iOS, and because education should be available to as many people as possible, it will be free on the Red Start website as well. So you can play it like online.
It's wonderful.
That's amazing. That is amazing. Alrighty, last question, Lisette. Body Bug's art direction was a highlight for many of our testers. What do you think the game does particularly well?
I had a fun time playing this. I think one thing you're doing extremely well was some of the, reflecting on some of the challenges I had on Psychonauts. We had a hard time depicting some of the, body horrors as you're moving through the body, particularly in our dentist level. It could get really gross really fast. And I thought that you did a very good job of making it fun and accessible, but not too, high on the gross factor. So I thought that was really great. And then, the platforming and movement, as everyone else has said, it's just really fun and reactive. So it feels like it's, very easy to access and the mechanics are there. I do have a question for you, however. Let's see. I do think like the bold color palette and the detailed human body setting create a strong identity for your game, and it sets it apart. What inspired those creative choices, and what was your process for building out those details?
I think, okay, so I will actually say, like, looking back on it now, I think Psychonauts 2 ended up inspiring it a little bit and like led to some of that, like, it's definitely got like a surrealist feel. There's also like kind of like a factory-esque like processing feel, and I think there was an artist called Fritz Kahn actually that myself and the environment artist Dylan looked at like a lot to like basically mesh the gameplay with like the visuals as well. And actually, I think I just forgot the second part of the question. Sorry, can you repeat that?
Sure. You talked a little bit about the style and what sets it apart, and you spoke a little bit about your creative choices, and it seems like your inspiration was Fritz Kahn and Psychonauts 2.
Yes. Thank you.
Well, yeah. I'm glad we inspired you to get a little gross.
Thank you. Yeah, it was such a really great opportunity to basically like bring the inside of the body to life and just make it appealing as well.
Wonderful.
Amazing. Well, thank you so much, Vicky. That was amazing, and I think I'm very excited to check out the game as well. So, huge thank you for being here.
Thank you.
Yeah, of course. All right.
Was so addictive, and then I was like, wait, I'm learning about enzymes right now. Like I was like I didn't even know I was learning.
Oh yeah, that was amazing.
Yeah,
that was amazing.
So thanks to Body Bug's high-flying adventure, learning about your body has never been so much fun. The final game build is planned for late 2022 release. You heard it. It's platforms everywhere, including PC, Mac, Linux, and Nintendo Switch.
That is awesome. I'm very excited for Vicky. Hope everything goes great. We are going to take a look at our next finalist, an adorably spooky farming game from Crystal Sherino at Skyreach Studio.
Hello, my name is Crystal, and I am the founder of Skyreach Studio, as well as the sole developer behind our first upcoming title. The game started off as essentially a college project. It has quickly grown into something so much bigger than that, and I'm very lucky to also have 4 awesome people working with me now. Critter Crops is a farming ARPG where players will be invited to Mutter Island by a mysterious benefactor promising a new life living inside the Mullery Mansion in Murmurtown. You should expect to play as Sylvie, a witch who recently discovered her magical abilities but was run out of her home because of it. When Sylvie arrives on Mutter Island, she discovers that there's no one there. It's entirely abandoned. But she also finds that she has a unique ability to turn regular crops into magical creatures that will aid her on her journey as she tries to make Mutter Island the home that she wants to have. Sylvie's tasked with fixing up the towns, inviting new shopkeepers, and creating lasting friendships, and learning about the different NPCs that will visit the island. She will also need to strengthen her magic so that she can venture out into the wilds and beyond the town to learn about Mutter Island and its secrets, as well as her mysterious benefactor. We hope that everyone who plays the game will find a character or a story that they resonate with and enjoy. We cannot wait to share this adventure with you all, so thank you so much.
Let's bring in Crystal to discuss her game, Critter Crops. Hi, Crystal. Oh my gosh.
Hi.
Oh my gosh.
Hello.
I'm so, like, I loved your game. I thought it, like, I am a complete freak for farming games, and then adding the spooky element, I was literally squealing out loud. Excellent work.
Thank you so much. I'm the same, actually. I love Halloween. It's my favorite holiday, and I've always been a huge fan of farming games, so yay.
Yay! So I have some questions for our experts here. Kimberly, farming games are becoming a favorite genre for many players. How do Critter Crops' witchy elements help it stand out?
I was like you, like I loved when you said you kind of squealed. I loved that it was so different than what you normally see. And Crystal, I was curious to get your thoughts. Like, you're kind of taking two very different things. Like, you've got this mysterious story, and then you've got critters and farming. Like, in your head, how are you thinking about blending those two things together?
I think that adding the magical aspect of, like, you know, the witchiness, and Halloween just has like a general idea of like magic and the magical. So I think they weirdly blended together the farming element and kind of bringing the crops to life with Halloween. It was a strange concept that I came up with, and somehow it just kind of melded together. A lot of people just feel like it just makes sense. You know, a witch alone on an island who is looking for friendship, and she makes her own.
I love
Aww,
it.
that's so cute. I literally, when I planted the seed and then it was a little bat, I screamed. I literally was like, ah! It was amazing. Okay, I've got a question for Renee. With a blend of farming, adventure, and RPG character building, what elements of Critter Crops really stuck out to you?
Well, absolutely the sort of spooky elements, but I think what the game has done really well is bring together the adventure, the RPG, the farming aspects, all through the visuals and the story. There are a lot of really great dialogue interactions where you feel true companionship from the characters that you run into, and it really pushes you to keep exploring and building forward, because there's so much that you get out of the story as you're progressing through the farming and other tasks and adventures. One thing that actually stood out to me a lot about Critter Crops is its focus on acceptance and the characters who've been rejected by society. Kimberly, could you tell us a little bit, could you tell us a little bit more about the narrative, the narrative that Critter Crops hopes to convey? Crystal, sorry.
No, it's fine. So there are so many stories in this game, and characters that haven't even been introduced yet. And my goal with this game was to essentially have a character that everyone can relate to, and a story that, you know, they really want to learn about, and a character that, you know, if that person were real, that they would want to be their best friend. They would want to help them feel loved and comfortable. and find a new home outside of a world that essentially rejected them. Because I feel like in today's society, we face a lot of that, and I kind of wanted to reflect how people are, all of us are looking for our place that we fit in.
Aww.
Absolutely. That's really sweet.
Wow. I mean, when I was playing, I was like, I want to live there. I was like, I wish it was real, and I could go there. So yeah, that's so evident in the game design. Gordon, what advice do you have for the developers as they complete Critter Crops?
Wow. So one, I loved it, and obviously, Crystal, you're a vibe. Like Sylvie's a vibe. Spooky farming. I mean, right? It's like peanut butter and jelly for a lot of people. My advice to you would actually be around community. And I'll go back to what we said before. There's 10,000 people here right now. Okay? A lot of spooky, farmy, lovey people who should be in your Kickstarter right now, right? They should be in your Kickstarter right now. My advice to you is you need to plug yourself. Like, some people are going to play your game, that's true. But even the idea of supporting you creating spooky farming is enough reason to like it, like $5, $50, whatever it is. You need to plug your game. You need to let people know that it exists. Like, aggressively would be my advice to you.
Okay.
My question. No,
Go
no.
ahead.
It's your time. It is your time. No, go.
I was going to do my plug. So for those of you who are wondering if you're not sure what he's talking about, there is a Kickstarter coming up next month for Critter Crops. You know, we have a lot of things that currently we're not able to do that with a little bit of extra money we could do, like hopefully bringing the game to Switch and, you know, getting everybody access to this adorable Pump Kitty plush that I have shamelessly displayed behind me, and a lot of really cool stuff that I think those of you who are going to play the game would really enjoy. So please go check out the Kickstarter.
Yeah, I started plugging. I put your Twitter in the chat. We're all we're there for. I'm just in time for the holidays. My question. I'm sorry, to you.
No, go ahead. I was going to say, I need a Pump Kitty to add to my collection. So.
Oh, I know. I am also. So you need to tell us now what that goal is, what that number is, because yeah, after this call, click whatever. But my question to you, right? So you've got a lot of things drawing your attention. Okay, so you want to kick a Kickstarter off. You are trying to finish this game. What are you really focusing on? What are the key next steps for you, like as a creator, like just 1, 2, 3 that you're trying to get done right now?
Right now, the main focus is completing the first biome in the game and getting the actual alpha out to the world for everybody's feedback, and just trying to make improvements and just make the game what the community wants it to be.
That's awesome that you're open to, wait for it, critique. See what I did there afterward? That's awesome. Yeah, looking forward to it.
That's so cool. Well, thank you so much, Crystal. You did such an amazing job, and it was such a fun thing.
I mean, I can already tell. Yeah, I can already tell that is going in my library when it launches later this year on PC. I mean, I can't say enough. It's adorable.
Pump Kitty for president! Pump Kitty! I love Pump Kitty. So cute. So cute. All right, next up we have a galaxy-spanning platformer from developer Anastasia Snyder.
Hello, I'm Anastasia Snyder, the director, writer, and lead artist on Mariposa. I'm looking to create a fun, character-based experience for players. My development team consists of various professionals, and over the past year, we've put together an approximately 2-hour demo encapsulating the first chapter of the game, the prologue of the story set on the 70s-inspired planet of Fletica. Welcome to the world of Mariposa and the Galaxy Man, a story-rich 3D platformer set in a galaxy with colorful planets based on different decades of the 1900s. Collect space creatures, solve physics-based puzzles, and interact with fun characters as you zoom across the galaxy to save a man made of stars. Gameplay consists of platforming, exploration, helping alien creatures, conversing with characters, and collecting, while also implementing Mariposa's zero-G abilities. You can use zero-G to reach new heights and speed forward. Nectra can also be used to make objects and enemies float, which ties into the combat system. The target audience for the game consists of fans of 3D platformers, puzzle games, and story-heavy character-focused games. We also want to target a young female audience that may enjoy the doll-like characters, fashion systems, and adventure.
Bradley, you groovy?
Always and forever, Sunflower Girl.
The art design of the game is a blend of fashion doll looks such as Monster High with the hand-painted texture stylings of League of Legends. We wanted to create something that felt simultaneously fresh and nostalgic. We hope you enjoyed taking a look at Mariposa and the Galaxy Man. We appreciate any support given and hope you enjoyed playing the free demo. Thank you!
Wow, that looks amazing. The art is just absolutely beautiful. So next we have Anastasia Snyder of Ink Rose Inc. discussing her game Mariposa and the Galaxy Man. Welcome.
Hi, thank you so much for having me. I've been so excited to do this.
Well, we are excited to have you. So let's hop into some questions. The first question that I have is for Lisette. Mariposa and the Galaxy Man features eye-catching visuals inspired by aesthetics from the 20s through the 80s. How does this platformer so effectively jump between inspirations?
Yeah, I had a really fun time playing your game, particularly because it reminds me so much of my favorite genre, which is 3D platforming. You know, I just shipped one, so I have a soft spot in my heart. And I think you do a lot of things really well that we also had to, overcome. And that is sort of how do you have this huge range of worlds that all need to work and look like they belong in the same universe. And I think you did a very good job of, spanning the different decades, while also keeping the style consistent. So good job for you guys. That's very hard to do. I do have a question for you, Anastasia. I was really struck by your really bright color palette. It's super joyous and fun, but I know through my experiences developing games that have bright environments, things can be really hard to get into focus for the player. Specifically, if everything is bright, what are they supposed to focus on? So can you tell us a little bit about how you guys approached those challenges and made the gameplay more readable?
So when it came to trying to make things more readable because it's so bright, when I was designing especially the hub map, I was trying to make sure that all of the objective areas were a bit clearer, specifically because of shape language and placement on the map. We kind of had a central hub area, which was Dawn's office, where you get to meet and talk with Aunt Dawn. And then from there, we kind of branched it out and had different sections near the big domes. So there was like a big visual indicator of the green dome is right there, the ice dome is there, and they're all color-coded, as well as having different shapes on them to help indicate what is inside them to help with color blindness. So we also had the shapes on there to make that more readable. And then we tried to have basically unique buildings and sometimes unique plants in different areas to try to differentiate different areas. And for NPCs that you can talk to specifically, we put little icons over their heads as well to help try to visually indicate that.
Yeah, just a great job. I could see the work that you guys put into that, and especially with the landmarking and the things you did to help the art direction improve player experience. So, good job, and definitely extra bonus points on considering accessibility and including that in your game.
Thank you so much.
Amazing. Alrighty, Kimberly, with any great platformer, you have to find the perfect balance of challenge without getting too frustrating for players. Do you think Mariposa and the Galaxy Man hits that mark?
It did for me. I thought it was super fun. I loved the art style, Lisette. I loved your questions, hearing more about sort of the thought process there. And I would love to know, how did you come up with this theme? Like, what was the inspiration? I love original games, and this is totally original. So, and I love hearing how game makers arrived at that.
So for this one, the way I kind of came up with it was literally just because I was listening to a bunch of different music from different genres and decades, and it made me start to kind of think about different characters that are inspired by different decades. And what if it was this sci-fi world where instead of it being time travel, which is usually the genre where you have levels of different time periods, I wanted to do something different where it's like a sci-fi game where the planets are filled with different types of alien creatures. And the demo only has the first planet, but in the rest of the game, which we're planning to do with help from funding, especially like on Kickstarter and such, is to have each planet is completely different, inspired by a different decade. Like the second planet you would visit after this one is 1920s inspired and has a whole giant tree village filled with cat lemur people who are flappers and all of that. So we have a whole bunch of concept art and stuff on our website and all of that, going into detail on all of the different inspirations for each planet and what we're planning to do in the future.
See, I love that answer because I never would have guessed, like, in a million years. That's so unique and so cool, and I love it. And I want to see the 1920s. I think that's amazing, and I love the plug and that you're already thinking about what you would do.
Thank you.
Yes, very creative, very, very cool. Last question is for Jay. Now that you've had the chance to demo Mariposa and the Galaxy Man, what advice are you giving its developers?
So first of all, I absolutely love and adore the fact that you're already planning for accessibility, because that is something that is just extremely important and it's near and dear to my heart, and awesome. Kudos. There's so much that goes into a good platformer game. You have to always make sure that you've got something that really stands out and you've got that unique selling point, on the market. So, your game stands out from a lot of the other platformers out there, and I think you've got it. I love that factor of, we're not going to do time travel. We're going to go world to world. It's like the Mario Galaxy type thing. It gives you such creative freedom, and I think you made a wonderful choice there. So my question is, you had the demo up on Steam now. I'm assuming it was up during Steam Next Fest. What sort of feedback have you gotten from fans that have already played it? And, how are you implementing that, or how are you evaluating it?
So we actually got a lot of incredible feedback. Because our team is so small, we're basically 4 people, along with our voice acting cast, of course. We were just us, like, playing through it. So when we were releasing the demo on Steam as well as the Kickstarter, we kind of did like a double launch, both of them. We encouraged people to stream the game and give their thoughts, give all the feedback they could give, any glitches they found that we could fix. And probably the number one feedback we got is, some of this stuff is too confusing. Could we get better tutorials? And also, sometimes the difficulty is a little too hard in certain areas for certain people. Sometimes certain people have difficulties with platforming, while others were having more difficulties when it came to the combat. So we were taking all that stuff into mind, and we were patching the game for the past couple weeks, trying to alleviate some of these issues, especially when it came to clarity in tutorials, which is something that we're still continuing to work on, because that's super important that people know what to do. And so I've been studying recent games coming out, like Horizon Forbidden West, looking at how they've been doing their tutorials and pop-ups and stuff to try to figure out what's the best way we can really make sure that this is clear to the player as to what to do, but at the same time trying to have a good balance of puzzle solving, because we want there to be this element of discovery, of aha moments that isn't necessarily completely spelled out to the player. So we want to try to have a good balance, especially because in the rest of the game there's going to be a lot more full-on puzzle elements, as well as more exploration. So yeah, there's a lot of incredible feedback we got, and there's still a lot more we want to do and want to improve on, especially.
See, you're talking about all the different patches and the tweaks that you're making and trying to make it more, and all that is going through the back of my head is, now we can make it a Souls-like, and then we don't have to worry about it anymore. We just dump everybody in there and they go. So keep up the good work.
Thank you so much.
Amazing. Well, thank you, Anastasia. I think safe to say we are all very impressed, and can't wait to see more from you.
Thank you so much. I really appreciate it.
Wow. I mean, that game has so much like palpable soul to it. It just feels very like it just feels so like fully imagined. It's
Absolutely.
It seems so fun. So I can't wait. I've played the demo. I can't wait to hop into the entire game, into that stunning world of Mariposa and the Yes, all the decades. I'm like, dang, I want to meet these flapper lemurs. Oh my gosh. And it's going to hit Mac, PC, and PlayStation platforms in 2024. Like I said before, you can check out that free demo on Steam right now.
Woo. Awesome. We've already seen some sensational games tonight. We have 3 more still to come. Remember to vote for your favorite game at attunlockedgames.com/vote. Voting will remain open until we announce our winners at the end of the program. Now, let's travel to a dark fantasy world where feline warriors battle for supremacy.
Hi, my name's Alexis Brutman, and I'm the founding owner and producer at Astral Clock Tower Studios. I started Astral Clock Tower Studios back in the spring of 2018 while I was pursuing my bachelor's degree in game programming. I met my partner, Tiffany Gomez, when we were put together for a group project. Soon after, we added our third partner owner, Sarah Schaafstal, and she became our marketing director. Over the next 4 years of our studio's existence, we've been able to create Kristalla alongside an incredibly diverse international team of 36 developers. Kristalla is a dark fantasy action RPG set in the magical world of Eilor that centers around 2 main races, the Onogativa, a race of magic-wielding feline beings, and the Kotakaya, a race of technologically advanced rodents. At the start of Kristalla, you choose your character from one of 6 clans of Onogativa, Eilor's evolved feline warriors. Your clan of origin will determine the look of your character, along with the kind of magic that they'll wield. Upon starting your journey, you'll come to find that you are the chosen Roxakar, or warrior, of your clan to compete in this year's Roxaka Proving, a yearly pilgrimage through the clanlands of Eilor made by Eilor's strongest young warriors. In order to prove themselves worthy of joining the ranks of the Roxaka, the Onogativan governing body and protectors of the Onogativan realm. Once you've started your Roxaka Proving, you'll come to notice it's not the peaceful pilgrimage you were expecting. Dala Maze is crawling with ravenous mutated beasts and Kotakain warriors, something never seen before by the Roxakar who've come before you. You will do your best to fight through the hordes of crazed mutants and angry Kotakaya, level and upgrade your character's stats, magic abilities, and feline abilities, and customize your character with the various unique armor sets and weapons you'll find throughout your journey, in order to build the strength required to make it through your Roxaka Proving in one piece, and find out why the clanlands of Eilor are cursed. Kristalla is essentially the game of my dreams. I have been so lucky to have such an incredible team to aid in its creation. I cannot wait to share the stories of Eilor with the rest of the world in early 2024.
All right, next up we are discussing Kristalla with its developer Alexis Brutman of Astral Clock Tower Studios. Hi, Alexis.
Hello, hello. Nice to see you all.
Oh my gosh. Okay, first of all, I'm really nuts about cats, really hard into cats. And then I'm also really into like arcane warriors. So I'm like, dude, if I can be a cat that fights with magic, I was like, dang, this is awesome. So really good job with this game.
Nice. I'm glad you liked it.
Okay, so I've got some questions here. Lisette, Kristalla mixes fearsome combat with deeper RPG mechanics. How did the two blend for you during your time with Kristalla?
Yeah, I was really taken aback by just the cuteness of the cats and then the seriousness of the gameplay. It just felt like this really interesting contrast where cats are usually cute and cuddly, but these little kitties like to fight. And so I had a really fun time playing with your combat mechanics and like just seeing what they could do. I like the powers and the visual effects. It was just super, super polished. So hats off to you. I would also like to ask you a question, Alexis.
Sure.
You mentioned that you're working with a diverse international team of 36 people. And as someone who had to ship a game in the middle of the pandemic, I'd love to hear how you guys handled that and managed working with a remote team.
Well, actually, we were pretty lucky because we started as a remote team, a couple of years before the pandemic. So when the pandemic hit, we were already good to go. So we had already been running our team in a central repository where, my talent pool was the globe and not just one local area. So it made it a lot easier to adjust when everyone else was scrambling because we were already just doing the same thing.
You guys are ahead of the curve.
Yeah.
That's really cool. Okay, Renee, at first glance, Crystalla has similarities to games players already know and love. So tell us a little bit about what makes this game so special.
Yeah, that's a great question. In regards to the similarities of other games, there are a lot of sort of action RPG games out there, and what many people fall in love with them is really that story. The role-playing, the experiencing and adventuring through the worlds. And I think Crystalla manages to do that from a really unique angle, particularly with the differences between the cats and the technologically advanced rats and the conflict there, and the mystery of the different tribes and where they're coming from, and this whole adventure overall. And so Alexis, the one thing that stood out to me from the video and what I played through was the amount of world building that has gone into this title. Could you tell us a little bit more about the origins of Crystalla and how that world has grown?
Sure. Actually, Crystalla, it's funny what it became, because our initial ideas when we were sitting down and talking about making a game 4 years ago was this cute little adventure side-scroller game that maybe you'd play on a mobile device of a cat going on an adventure to gain wings, because my partner was a big fan of the anime Fairy Tail, but I'm a big fan of dark, bloody action RPGs. So we ended up kind of warped into that over time. It just naturally became this world we kept building on top of, especially because we came up with the clans because my little brother drew a picture of cats at different elemental doing different elemental damage types, and we were like, that's brilliant, kid. So we brought it into our game and created this this vast world with the different clans that do different magic types. I'm a big fan of magic in action RPGs, so I wanted to make it a bigger piece of our game than I've seen done in the past. So we really made it a bigger part of the story and the world. The whole world is pretty much run by magic. Just Crystalla kind of took on a life of its own. It's been so easy to write for because it's so easy to come up with interesting content that happens in a fantasy world filled with magical cats.
Absolutely.
Yeah, and I mean, the sense of discovery when I was playing it is really cool. Just seeing, when you come across those, husk things of the cats at first, I was like, uh-oh, what? I was like, it ain't what it seems. It's really, really cool. And I also just saw your cat walk by. I've got, cat radar.
Oh, yeah.
I saw your cat walk by in the background. I was like, oh my God, a cat.
Surprised that was only the first one. I have a lot of cats.
Yes. I have 3. I'm guilty. I
have 10 right now.
Oh my God. You're not kidding.
Well, I rescue cats. I've been taking in cats for years and rehabbing and adopting them out and stuff. So it's not as bad as it sounds.
No, I mean, that's my dream. You're living the dream. Wow. Okay, I've got another question here for Gordon. With your marketing background, what advice do you have for Crystalla's creators to launch with their best foot forward? Best paw forward.
No, okay. So, one, you're already taking steps, owning the cat ears, supporting 10 cats. You're seeing in the chat, everyone wants cat souls, right? It's already happening, right? And I think it's everyone more cats. I can't ask me. I'm sorry, I'm reading the chat at the same time. There's lots of cat punditry. The point being, and I've done this to other people in this very same event. So, first pause. Thanks AT&T and Twitch, because there's 13,000 people watching you right now, Alexa. 13,000.
Yeah. That's
a lot of cats you can save. Okay?
Yes,
that's a lot of cats. I think the number one thing to do right now would be to plug. You need to plug. You need to tell people, how can people, right? Let's just say half these people are cat people. That's 6,000 people. Okay? What is the first thing you wish they would do right now if they want more cat souls, more of Crystalla?
Go to crystalla-game.com. Check us out. You can see you can read all the world lore there. You can check out like everything that has to do with Crystalla, and find all of our social media pages there as well.
That's awesome. Some good Samaritan, put the link in the chat. Someone out there's 13,000 of you, put the link in the chat for Crystalla. I also have a question though. Let me find my question. Hold on a second.
Sure.
So, your game has so much polish, right? So, I mean, clearly, right, a lot of heart and care and quality and professionalism went into your game. How do you think about onboarding people so that they trust? Like games are about trust, right? And so it looks so good, right? It looks, they say AAA, right? How do you get them to spend their time and money with this new universe that's so deep that you're creating?
Oh, that's a good question.
That's my job.
Yeah, it's a deep one. I mean, how do we onboard people? How do we? So, what do you? Can you clarify what you mean by onboarding? Like introduce it to? Yeah.
Yeah. Someone right now just saw this video, okay, and they love cats, they love Dead Souls, love chopping stuff up, okay.
Yeah.
And they even watch the trailer and they love it. But now you want them to not only download it, but really to engage with your universe, okay?
Right.
Oh, another cat. Oh my God, you just showed them the cat. But if you don't just show them that beautiful cat, what is that first minute or two like, where you're pulling them from someone who loves the idea of what you're doing into loving the play of what you created?
Oh. Well, I think, one of the things that we've gone for specifically is to make Crystalla more inviting than many Souls and Souls-like games have been in the past. So we open the game not by throwing you immediately into a tutorial boss fight, but actually teaching you how to play. And so we've been hoping that being more inviting may be beneficial to helping people feel more attached to the world as they continue in the game. They don't immediately give up because they think the combat's too hard and it's not fun.
Okay, well, I'm gonna let you go, but they said they can't post links in the chat, so tell everyone one more time what your link is, just so they know. All these 13.5 people know what your link is.
It's crystalla-game.com. Yeah, and if you just Google Crystalla, you'll find us. We're right on the top.
Well, they might not know. Crystalla. How do you spell Crystalla? Crystalla.
Kristalla.
Perfect.
Nice.
That's fine.
I mean, yeah, really polished, really, really cool. The lore is very intriguing. Excellent work. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you so much, Alexis. And really excited to see what else you're going to come up with.
Yeah, thank you. It was really nice to meet all of you.
Yeah.
Here I am. Hey there.
There you are. Hi, I missed you.
Muted. Hello. I missed you too. I was just saying, I'm so blown away with how creative people can be. I mean, I could never ever think of anything close to an amazing world building thing like that. I can barely come up with anything. So very, very impressed with all of that.
Yeah, huge.
Yeah. Crystalla is going to dazzle gamers when it's fully released across multiple platforms in early 2023. Early 2023, okay? So keep an eye out for it. And all the cats. We love them.
Gosh. And I you can pick what kind of cat you want to be. I mean, come on.
So good.
So good. Okay, so now let's check out an immersive story-driven game from developer Lori Cole of Transsolar Games.
Hello, I'm Lori Cole, co-founder of Transsolar Games. I've been designing computer games for over 30 years. I've always loved playing games. However, when I first got into the industry, I didn't feel like games were living up to their potential. I wanted to play a game that had all the beauty of an adventure movie, all the compelling story of a great novel, and the fun and interactivity of a Dungeons and Dragons game. That's how I design games. I'm currently working on a game called Summer Days at Hero U, Tilly's Tale. It's an interactive visual novel with the good parts of adventure gaming. A fun setting, real choices, and memorable characters and dialogue. You play Tilly Appleberry, a carefree, happy-go-lucky young woman with the spirit for mischief. Tilly gets stuck doing something she really doesn't want to do, and so she spends half the game trying to find someone else to do it for her.
I guess I need to find someone else to con into taking over the festival. And find the dirty drat who ratted on me to Turk.
Along the way, though, she makes friends, learns something about their lives, and learns something about herself as well. Will she help a bard find his voice, a scientist build a flying machine, or a warrior learning to have fun? It's all on how you play the game. Summer Days at Hero U is the kind of game that appeals to all ages. Tilly's Tale has beautiful graphics, lovely music, and amazing voice talent.
How's it going, kitty? There's a womp chunk chunk noise coming from the engine when I tested it earlier.
I know that you will love this game as much as I do. Thank you very much for watching. I hope that you will play Summer Days at Hero U, Tilly's Tale.
Amazing. Well, now we're going to bring in our first developer, Lori Cole, to discuss her title, Summer Days at Hero U, Tilly's Tale. Welcome, Lori.
Hi there.
I absolutely love the art style on this. It's just beautiful and stunning. Gorgeous job. I would like to start off today with a question for Jay. Now, Summer Days is a unique title because it takes place in a fantasy world that Lori has been building over decades. How do you reach out to fans of previous titles while also welcoming in brand new players?
I love that you're asking me this, and Lori's the one that's been doing this for so long. Lori literally worked on some of the games that inspired me to get into the industry. Yeah, I'm going to kick that to you, Lori. So how do you bring all of that together and get new people? And then after that, we'll get to my actual question.
Oh, okay. Well, we're really working at it because we keep, every game I've ever done has evolved with what we're doing. And it's tried to make the games transparent. One of our rules was you should not think you're playing a game. You should think you're in this world. And so you keep the people interested with keeping up with what's going on in the real world, of what people want to see and how they want to see it and how they want to do it.
So for the sake of everybody out there, how long have you been building this world?
Well, yes, it's about more than 30 years now since we started out with Sierra Online Games and created the Quest for Glory world. And to keep this going, everybody loved the game so much that even after we did 5 games years ago, the fans still loved the world and they played the games over and over again. And so they never stopped playing it. And I wanted to keep that spirit going and reward them by it and keep them so that they knew, had a familiar past and present and a future with these games.
So do you do stuff outside of the games? I mean, do you do like ebooks or anything else that keeps the lore going in between the different games?
Well, yes, actually, after we left Sierra Online, I actually had what was called the School for Heroes Online, and we had interactive fantasy role-playing with characters from the games. And so many of the characters in Summer Days were actually from that interactive role-playing. With a lot of the people that were playing as students there went on to continue to be part of the characters of this world.
That is awesome. I love that. So, given your experience in the industry, I mean, obviously things have changed dramatically over the years since, the Sierra Online days. what, new features, or how have you basically evolved the genre to what it is now with Summer Days?
Well, our previous game, Road to Redemption, was actually more of a continuation of our further games. It was a true role-playing adventure game, and so it had everything like combat and careful interaction and a vast world to explore. And this game, we're really focusing more upon the characters and the story, so that we're sort of taking the essence of adventure games and just distilling it into an interesting place and an interesting story. But it's still a game, because you can lose in this. Unlike a lot of those things, you can get kicked out of school if you really go out of your way to make people angry.
That is awesome, Lori. Keep up the good work.
That is awesome. All right, Lisette, from a design perspective, what really stood out to you about Summer Days?
The thing that stood out to me about Summer Days, first it reminded me of your favorite point-and-click adventures from back in the day. Those were like a major genre that everyone loved, including me. But it was updated and it felt new and fresh. Like the mechanics of the hub world were wonderful. Being able to sort of have a UI where you can move around and navigate around the world, I think is a new sort of feature that is nice to have in games like this, so you're not just going from screen to screen to screen. So I was happy to see the evolution of a point-and-click game and the depth that you had in your game. But I do have a question for you, Lori. I think one of the things that is charming about the style of game is the art style, and you've got a unique art style that feels up to date and fresh, but also reminds me of all the fun things about 2D games that I love so much. Tell me a little bit more about how you landed on the style for your game.
Well, I really wanted to keep the game looking this fresh and to give it this kind of real appeal visually. So I had the artist J.P. Selwood, who had worked with us in our previous game, and I told him the type of thing we wanted is something that looks charming to reflect this kind of game it is, and also doesn't look too childish, but really shows that you can have a kind of universal appeal with characters.
It's super charming, and I love the look.
Thank you.
Awesome. Yeah, I think charming is the perfect word for it. We love it. All right, Kimberly, what advice do you have for Summer Days developers as they finalize their game?
I feel like Jay in the sense that, like, Lori, you've been doing this for a long time. First off, congrats on being in the industry for that long and pioneering for women. I know it was probably a lot different then. But that's amazing that you've been there that long. So in terms of advice, I'm probably not the person to tell Lori, but, and I would agree, like, I love this game and it felt both familiar and fresh at the same time, which I really liked. And I was curious, Lori, like, when you think about, when you built games all those years ago versus today, how have you seen the gamer change or the needs change in terms of what you're building?
Well, when we started out, we were trying to just do what we could with what we had. In other words, we had very limitations on what could be done in games. And the computer restrictions and the amount of people couldn't get, who could play these games. So we're now in a point where anybody can play these games, and yet here I am creating a game that really could have been played that way 30 years ago. But people weren't ready for that kind of game, really. We've had a whole new visual language that's come through over the years of what a game can be. And so it's really because of all the changes that have happened that we can create a game like this. It's not down to the restrictions of the technology. It's only to the, the imagination.
That's super interesting feedback. And then, just for a second question, if I can, what would you do with the investment if you, like, how would you finish the game? What would you do with the additional funding?
Well, this is the first game in the series of Summer Days. I mean, from here on, we're going to have 2 more games that I've already got most of the artwork started for. Oh, well, at least the first game, Ifeo's Adventure, is completely done, and the artwork for Sammy's story is just now in the process of being done. And we're adding more animation. We want to bring it to life with the sound, the music, and the voices are just wonderful for this game. But we want to take it to the next level and really keep this game, feeling alive, and that it isn't just this story that you're reading, but it's a real immersive world that you're playing in.
I love it. If you're ever thinking about Batman or some of those characters, let's talk.
Okay.
Awesome. Well, Lori, thank you so much.
Thank you.
You got to do it. Thank you, Lori, for being here today. I think we're all very excited about Summer Days and to see where this story takes us. Thank you.
Oh, you're welcome. Thank you all. This has been awesome.
Oh my gosh. I mean, this game is so charming, and like, I know that I'm invested if I'm already shipping I was shipping characters while I was playing. So, but I'm also the characters that I was shipping. Yeah, because I'm like trash that likes enemies to lovers tropes, and there was already one person. Yeah, that he was like kind of mean to my character, and I was like, I need to go visit him at every chance.
You just keep going back to him.
I kept going back. I was like, recreation room, I have to go back. Oh my gosh. But if you guys want to check it out, Summer Days can currently be wishlisted on Steam while Lori and the team add final touches before public release. Make sure you check that out, because it is, I mean, what a charming game.
Absolutely. Alrighty, our 6th finalist is here, and we are serving up some fabulous fisticuffs with a new title from Fighting Chance Games.
Hi, I'm Jessica Antena Cruz, the lead narrative designer at Fighting Chance Games, and today I'm here to talk to you about Drag Her. Fighting Chance Games came about when a small group of friends and I decided that we really wanted to see more of ourselves in game dev and games in general. So we thought, what better path than to start our own game studio. Drag Her, which is our hand-drawn 2D fighting game, works kind of like any other fighting game, except that it's merged with the world of drag, so everything is campier, queerer, and sillier. So what'll happen is a player will start the game, you'll enter a dressing room, you'll pick your chosen fighter. So we have rollback netcode, and you can play online versus people. It's incredible. From there, you will see cinematic cutaways, silly combos, and sickening moves that we have crafted based on each drag personality. We also plan to include mini games such as voguing and lip syncing, and our really big thing we're pushing for is having career mode in the game. We're crafting a longer, bigger story that kind of works the outer framework of including the drag fighting and all that in between. Our roster is so exciting because they're all real-life drag superstars, and I'm excited to announce that our roster includes Asia O'Hara, Manila Luzon, Landon Sider, Kim Chi, and Alaska. We also have assist characters, so we have Tammy Brown and Jiggly Caliente who can pop in and help you out, and Meatball is our beloved announcer for this game. We wanted to make sure it was jam-packed with drag personality and fun and campiness, and I think we've really done that. Thank you for listening and watching. I can't wait to drag you into our world.
All right, next up is Jessica Antena Cruz of Fighting Chance Games to discuss her game, Drag Her. Hi!
Hello!
Oh my gosh. Okay, first of all, I was floored by this game. Excellent work. Every single detail, and in watching that video, when you announced the roster, my jaw dropped. I was, oh my gosh. Great work.
We have more. We have more now. I know.
Oh my God. I'm screaming. Great. Seriously, great work. All right, let's jump into some questions here. Gordon, I got a question for you. Drag Her puts a new spin on a classic genre. So what do you think that the game does the best? Because there's a lot of things it does well. You gotta pick what does the best.
I know your jaw dropped, my jaw death dropped. I think for so many things. So I'm gay. Love it all. So bring Dragula RPDR crossover fighting 2D experience. Mind blown. I think what you did best, in my opinion, was bringing the personas of the drag queens to life through their actions. I think you put some real clever thought into how can we bring these performing personalities to life in a different form of expression, namely combat, right? So that's what I think you did best, my opinion. Now, my question is this. So, Drag Her is intensely nostalgic, with it being an arcade-style fighting game, while maintaining a fresh twist and being unapologetically queer and fun. What inspired you to bring this new game to this new generation, to this new psychographic of gamers?
To be honest, the weirdest thing is we were like, why isn't this game already here? I feel like drag and fighting games are the perfect marriage if I've ever seen one. And like, been a longtime fan of drag. Our whole team is what we call minorities in major game studios, right? We're all women, members of the LGBTQIA plus community, people of color. And so like, we are all huge fans of drag and we're all huge fans of fighting games. And I was like, what if we made a game that was like Clay Fighter and Mortal Kombat, but with drag queens? So we tried to do that. Yeah, exactly. Oh, I know, Kim.
I have just a quick follow-up because we're just here and we're just going to talk about things and support you today. Yes. So all of you underrepresented, right? So we have this day like AT&T where you are default, right? Your whole team is like, we want to be default all the time. How are you marketing and finding your audience of people who don't go, why drag, right? We're just like,
yes,
of course, this is where we want to be. How are you getting funded? How are you getting supported, like in these early days? And last question, you got 14,000 fans right here. 14,000. It's a big drag party right here. What do you got to say? Let them know.
We have really had some rough things with getting like traditional funding. We were definitely told early on with a publisher, like, well, gay people don't play video games. They're too sensitive. And we were like, but we're sitting right here. Like, we are telling you we do. So we've come up against that. We have been really lucky. We've been able to take our demo out. There's a game night hosted by Bitch Puddin' in Los Angeles at a bar called Precinct. We've been invited there and like had people play our demo, which was incredible. We also had an IGDIA grant early on, and that was sort of how we were able to pay like artists we had come on board. And we have also recently finished, like, I mean, not even a week done, a Kickstarter that was made $75,000, but it was all mostly, we wanted to pay the performers. We love all the drag personalities in our game so much, and I think queer community is about lifting each other up and supporting each other, and not just queer communities, right? Like, it's all intersectional. You can be queer and black and queer and straight, and like, you know, I think all those things, not queer and straight, but you know what I mean. There's room for all of it. So we've trying to just like create our community and build it out, because fighting games are a community and drag is a community and all of that. And we want it to just be like, it's a circle.
I mean, I think... No, you know, I'll do it because we're here. If not now, when? You need to give them a link, Jessica. Go right now if they want more. If they're not at Precinct this weekend, where do they go?
Yes. Please go visit our game at dragher.game. We are, as you can see, it's just the demo. We have not gotten to get to the full game yet. And now that we have our actually efficient drag personalities, I get to craft all of these amazing drag moves for all of them, which I'm so excited about. I mean, creating moves for people you love is such an iconic thing, and you can't necessarily tell from the demo, but they all have really crazy, silly, stupid names, and I'm very proud of that.
I mean, you should. I mean, it truly, like, I feel like there is an element of camp in a lot of fighting games, and it's like you're recognizing something that, like, is already present for some of them and taking it into this beautiful, like, celebratory world of camp, and, like, I'm really, really impressed by this game. Really excellent.
Yes, the campiness we wanted to celebrate because, I mean, like, a line we used early on, which hopefully isn't good fun, was, you know, like, oh, it's a less gay Mortal Kombat. Because I think there's so much camp. And, like, Sindel is our icon. We have a picture of her up. You know, we worship her. Like, it's one of those things where, you know, wrestling is campy and fighting games are campy. And, like, let's just double down and make the campiest game we can.
Love it. Love it. Okay, my next question is for Jay. From your time playing, what did you think of Dragher's hand-drawn art style, and what did that bring to your experience?
So first off, I just have to say, I freaking love working with Gordon because he's got the energy for everybody. And now I'm like, got Gordon on one side and I've got Kimberly on the other. And Kimberly, I mean, she works on Mortal Kombat. It's like, why am I here? Anyway, so I can tell you, so to answer one of your questions, and I'll get to the art style in a second, but I've literally been like taking notes here. You know, when you sat down with the team and said, why doesn't this exist? It's because it's hard. It's very, very hard from the business point of view, from the publishing point of view, to tackle a fighting game because of people like Mortal Kombat and Street Fighter. Nobody wants to take the chance on it. Because it's like, how are you going to make it stand out? And y'all nailed it. I mean, I loved playing this game. Somebody in chat just asked, are there finishing moves? Yes, there are. There are finishing moves. There are grapples. There are special meters. I was like, I see a lot of games come through with what we do. And I see a lot of fighting games come through. And I was just sitting there playing this game initially and going, oh my God, it's like all here already. This is awesome. The hand-drawn art style, I don't think you could do a game like this with, you know, a Mortal Kombat, that real 3D look. I mean, the blood would be pretty cool. But you couldn't, having that campiness and that art style and that hand-drawn lets you do things like we just showed in the trailer where she turns all rainbow, and then you've just done a fantastic job with it. And then I had a question, and I've got like so much going on in my brain at the moment that I can't remember. Oh, yes. Okay. So how are we going to take what you've got? So how many characters do we have right now?
We have a 7-person roster. Yes. And then we have assist characters that we're going to include as well. So we have, okay. I think it's 9 performers total.
All right. So how are you going to turn this into like Super Smash Brothers, where we have like 50 characters and all these different stages? I mean, in the serious sense, what is your post-launch plan? It's like, how big do you want this to get?
Gigantic.
Yes.
Yes. We want, I mean, I am living to write a career mode for the game. Like, I want to write something that incorporates, again, I know I've mentioned it a lot, but again, huge fan, Mortal Kombat. I love the career mode of Mortal Kombat. I love the story mode, but also this kind of idea of Hades has this really interesting play of how you interact with the characters. It's the characters that give you life, right? And as we have a bunch of amazing drag performers in the game, why wouldn't you want to utilize that? So we are, I mean, the sky's the limit to me because I'm the narrative designer. So I'm like, we'll do it all. I would really love to have kings, queens, etc. from everywhere. Anybody who loves games and who doesn't maybe, but like thinks that this is a cool idea. I want to put them in the game. We want DLCs. We want mini games. I want that story mode. I am not a person who is realistic. If you could tell, I am fully hoping for the world.
Can
and
we
that's
get
kind of what I hope.
break a car apart on the dock thing from Street Fighter back in the day in there as well?
Yes, we're hoping a minigame is going to be called like Beat the Mug, and it's going to be somebody punching you in the face a bunch, and like when it's done, you're going to have a beautiful beaten mug, which for people who don't know what that means, it just means you look really amazing.
Jessica,
we
that's
have
all I've
just
got
like
for you.
thank you. I mean, we have like mini
always
games.
look
We
awesome.
also want to include like ball culture because drag is where it is now, but there's also a historic place for drag, and we just want to make sure that's represented as well. So we've got all kinds of silly, fun, important mini games in the roster.
That's really cool. That's really cool. I love how ambitious you are. That's like awesome. Okay, Kimberly, what advice do you have for the developers of Drag Her?
I just want to say when I started playing this game, I was like, okay, let's go. And it definitely had this just like effect of like you wanted to tell people about it. Like you've got to see this game, right? So with that in mind, because I do think it is so unique and original. I work on the side, so don't get it twisted. I don't make that cool game, but I help distribute it. So like, with the fighting genre, like as others have mentioned, it's a massive genre, but it's really competitive, and because this has this like unique factor where I think people want to play it just to see it. How are you thinking about retaining users, because fighting can be really difficult or maybe too hard for people? So if you have this game that a lot of people want to try, how are you thinking about keeping them within your game once you get them there?
Yeah, that's actually something we've put a lot of thought into because repeatability is really important, right? You don't want somebody who plays a game once, they're like, well, I never need to play that again. So we are making sure that these characters who are based on real drag performers are fully fleshed out and repeatable. We're aiming for an experience that like you go to a local drag show or you watch a drag show on television and you're like, oh, you know what I want to do right now? Play Drag Her with my friends. We have local co-op, which a lot of games don't have anymore. So we have that. We also have an incredible, I have to say this right because we've made a joke about it. It's called Roll Back Netcode, but we keep calling it Back Roll Netcode because that's a drag joke. So we have an incredible Roll Back Netcode. We played a demo with people in the Philippines and Thailand, and they were like, there's no lag, it looks brilliant. So I think having a system that works really well, that gives people kind of this silliness, I think a lot of games sometimes that include queer themes and queer characters and all that, it's important, we need them. There's also sometimes a sadness to those stories and, like dealing with the trauma. And of course, that's important. That's an important thing to hear. We always say drama, not trauma. Like, we're here to show people you can have fun. You can be stupid, you can be silly, and still be queer, and still be a person of color, and still be like in games. We want all that. So we are just really banking on our silly, stupid jokes and our wonderful, wonderful performers and their talents, and hoping and praying that we craft a repeatable game, because we have, we've had people come back and play it, and that's the weirdest thing, I think. When somebody plays your game, they're like, we want to play it again. You're like, oh, really?
That's the goal, right? One last quick thing. Every fighting game needs a good tagline. Have you thought about, over here, have you thought about anything like that for your game?
Ooh, have we thought about, we definitely just, Drag Her is really, I feel like that sells it all. But our good tagline, I haven't thought about one yet. Wow, is the narrative designer.
Now, but I was curious what that would be for this game.
Slay it here now. We've got a lot of slaying jokes in there. Finish, I'll workshop it. I haven't done that part yet.
There you go. Thank you.
Thank you.
Oh my gosh. Thank you so much, Jessica. I am seriously frothing at the mouth thinking about playing the rest of this game. I want to play it. Great work. Thank you so much. We're so excited to see what else you got to show us.
Thank you all so much. This has been awesome.
Wow. All right. I am already in love with Drag Her's Vivacious Queens, and I can't wait to dive in when the game launches in 2023. How fun. That was amazing.
So fun. And how amazing were all of those games? And it's so incredible to see the creativity and innovation of women working within game development.
Absolutely. So alongside our runners-up, You've seen 6 remarkable games from our finalists covering everything from fighting to farming to platforming and narrative adventures. Now it is time for our end bosses to deliberate and decide the showcase's runner-up and grand prize winner, who will be taking home $100,000 to help finish her game. Don't forget, you can vote. In the chat, there's a link for the Gamer's Choice voting. Go, go, go. Hurry, hurry, hurry before it's too late. While the end bosses calculate their final scores, you can still make your voice heard with the Gamer's Choice winner, who will be taking home $10,000 and additional promotional support for her title from AT&T. So remember, vote for your favorite game at attunlockedgames.com/vote.
Vote, 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 vote. Oh my gosh.
Vote,
vote,
vote.
Vote, vote, vote. I wish all these games could win. I love them all so much. And okay, so you're like, okay, what's the scoring criteria? Like, what are you ladies talking about? So if you haven't heard much about the contest portion of Unlocked Games, we're going to share some details about the evaluation process and all the different elements of these games that are taken into consideration for each finalist. There are 4 main categories that these games are scored against. 1, overall visuals, audio design, gameplay and mechanics, and creativity and story. So let's talk through each of these categories.
Definitely. All right, visuals first up. They're usually the first thing that you notice about a game, and each title is rated on the overall quality of its visuals. This means clear graphics and art direction that immerses us into the game's world. We also look for high-quality artistic elements such as characters, backgrounds, details, and style. Everything that makes the game aesthetically pleasing.
And the second category, audio design, is just as important. I'm a real freak about sound, so I totally am like, oh my gosh. Sound effects, music, and character dialogue, all of these things bring games to life and get us invested in our journey. And they can make or break a game. In addition to a well-developed soundscape, it's important that the score complements the overall concept and feel of the game. Dissonant audio can be distracting, while a perfectly aligned soundtrack will really take a game to the next level. There are so many game OSTs that I just like listen to while I work.
Oh yeah,
they can really change the experience of a game.
Absolutely. The third category, gameplay and mechanics, refers to the quality and ease of gameplay in all aspects. Characters, levels, responsiveness of controls, and overall user experience of playing the game. A cohesive title will seamlessly tie all of these elements together so that players can navigate through the storyline with ease and enjoyment.
Finally, the fourth category is creativity and story. This relates to the originality of the game's concept and narrative. In a saturated market, a fresh perspective is essential to cut through the same old stories that players have seen time and time again. This, coupled with a unique style of gameplay and a clear objective, make for the best experience.
So all of these criteria that we just went over are what the end bosses use to meticulously review contest submissions and ultimately decide on their winner. Now there's so much work that goes into each and every submission, so let's give a major shout out to the developers everywhere who took the time to share their games with us.
Brooke, I'm really happy that we're not the judges.
I was just thinking that. How do you pick?
I'm like, how do you pick? How do you pick? This seems so hard. So while they do the hard job of finishing deliberating, let's take a moment to look back at some of the breathtaking games from last year's inaugural edition of AT&T's Unlocked Games. First up, last year's grand prize winner, Lab Rat from Chump Squad and developer Gwen Frey.
Hello, tester. I am Sarah. My algorithms suggest you might enjoy wanton, fun-solving puzzles. Do you feel more engaged knowing that you are being evaluated by your community? Good. I will now gauge your interest in multiplayer. I am helping. We are doing this together. We are bonding as people bond by doing at home. Do not panic. All of my systems are normal. 200% normal. 3000% normal. Completely normal.
Lab Rat blew our end bosses away last year with its perfect combination of inventive puzzling and a hilariously memorable AI antagonist. The final build of Lab Rat is currently scheduled for release in Q4 of this year. So if you're interested in picking it up upon release alongside any of the other great games from our showcase, don't forget to check out the chat for details on how you could win a $100 Steam gift card.
All right, next up, let's take a look at last year's runner-up winner, Scarlett Hollow from Black Tabby Games and developer Abby Howard, an episodic horror mystery full of complex characters where your narrative choices really impact your journey. Oh my gosh, what a great title. The hand-drawn art style is so unique, and the game's third chapter just dropped last night, and all three are available now on Steam. We're so proud of what these women have accomplished and are thrilled to have them as part of our AT&T Unlock Games family. We're excited to continue following along and being a part of their journeys and to welcome in new faces as well here tonight.
Amazing. Alrighty. Well, the end bosses have just about finished determining this year's winner, but don't forget there is still time to vote quick for our Gamer's Choice Prize at attunlockedgames.com/vote.
Okay, so it's time to reveal our runner-up, who's taking home $20,000 as well as additional promotional support from AT&T.
Hey, I'm Vicky Way, the founder of Red Star Interactive. I created this company with the mission of giving players the experience of immersive worlds through wacky and unique games. For Get a Grip Chip and the Body Bugs, I'm the lead developer. I help to design our buttery smooth controls for Chip, and I script our environment interactions, design the puzzles, and decorate each set to make the worlds feel engaging and alive. I'm super excited to introduce you to Get a Grip Chip and the Body Bugs. It takes place inside the human body and brings the main character, Chip, through your goofy guts, the digestive system. Throughout the game, you'll need to traverse the digestive system by grappling to and launching off red blood cells while finding and fighting off the 3 body bugs to clear out your insides. You'll also collect your body's neurons to unlock the knowledge needed for Chip to reactivate the digestive system. Even though the body bugs is taking place in the human body, the goops and guts are presented in a really cool illustrated way to make the game fun, a little squidgy, and relatable. Body Bugs is inspired by the TV and movies of my childhood that combined entertainment and education, like The Magic School Bus, Osmosis Jones, and Carmen Sandiego. And for those that remember, the Lemonade Stand, which I think secretly inspired me to start my own game studio. I hope that Get a Grip Chip and the Body Bugs brings back that same magic and inspires people to play and be curious the same way I was and still am. Thanks for watching this little snippet of Get a Grip Chip and the Body Bugs. I can't wait to show more and bring you into this wacky little world that I've created.
Vicky, congratulations!
Thanks so much, Kelly. Thank you.
Oh my God. How are you feeling right now?
I'm elated and I'm so grateful. I'm grateful. Thank you for AT&T for this opportunity. Kelly and Brooke for being here as well. We gotta have hosts. And the end bosses, thank you so much for playing, and thank you to the Body Bugs team. Go team.
Oh my gosh. Thank you so much for entering. I'm so excited to see more of your game. And truly, I did feel like I was playing Magic School Bus, which was one of my favorite games as a kid when I was playing it.
That's awesome.
Really, really tops. Your work was great.
Thank you so much.
So thank you. Thank you so much. Okay. So now we're going to get to the moment that everyone's been waiting for. It's going to be time to reveal our grand prize winner, who's going to be taking home $100,000.
Hi, I'm Jessica Santa Cruz, the lead narrative designer at Fighting Chance Games, and today I'm here to talk to you about Drag Her. Fighting Chance Games came about when a small group of friends and I decided that we really wanted to see more of ourselves in game dev and games in general. So we thought, what better path than to start our own game studio? Drag Her, which is our hand-drawn 2D fighting game, works kind of like any other fighting game, except that it's merged with the world of drag, so everything is campier, queerer, and sillier. So what'll happen is a player will start the game, you'll enter a dressing room, you'll pick your chosen fighter. So we have rollback netcode, and you can play online versus people. It's incredible. From there, you will see cinematic cutaways, silly combos, and sickening moves that we have crafted based on each drag personality. We also plan to include mini games such as voguing and lip syncing, and our really big thing we're pushing for is having career mode in the game. We're crafting a longer, bigger story that kind of works the outer framework of including the drag fighting and all that in between. Our roster is so exciting because they're all real-life drag superstars, and I'm excited to announce that our roster includes Asia O'Hara, Manila Luzon, Landon Sider, Kim Chi, and Alaska. We also have assist characters, so we have Tammy Brown and Jiggly Caliente who can pop in and help you out, and Meatball is our beloved announcer for this game. We wanted to make sure it was jam-packed with drag personality and fun and campiness, and I think we've really done that. Thank you for listening and watching. I can't wait to drag you into our world.
Congratulations! Oh my god.
Thank you.
Okay.
Thank you.
You're gonna make me cry if you start crying.
I'm just sobbing.
Oh my god, I'm so happy for you. We are all here so happy for you and honored to be a part of this. How are you feeling?
I think it's easy to forget how important this can be to small indie games, and everybody's worked so hard. We're a really small team and making a game that's been difficult to find funding for, so we're just so grateful. Thank you guys all so much.
Woo!
Amazing. Well, we can't wait to see what you guys have in store. I mean, amazing job. We were also inspired by the creativity. The game, it looks amazing, and I can't wait to see how far you guys go. So congratulations again to our winner.
Thank you. Thank you so much. I love my team so much.
Yay. Thank you, Jessica. Alrighty. Gamers' Choice votes are now in, and it is time to reveal our fan favorite.
Hi, my name's Alexis Brutman, and I'm the founding owner and producer at Astral Clock Tower Studios. I started Astral Clock Tower Studios back in the spring of 2018 while I was pursuing my bachelor's degree in game programming. I met my partner, Tiffany Gomez, when we were put together for a group project. Soon after, we added our third partner owner, Sarah Schaafstal, and she became our marketing director. Over the next 4 years of our studio's existence, we've been able to create Kristalla alongside an incredibly diverse international team of 36 developers. Kristalla is a dark fantasy action RPG set in the magical world of Ilor that centers around two main races, the Onagativa, a race of magic-wielding feline beings, and the Kotakaya, a race of technologically advanced rodents. At the start of Kristalla, you choose your character from one of 6 clans of Onagativa, Ilor's evolved feline warriors. Your clan of origin will determine the look of your character, along with the kind of magic that they'll wield. Upon starting your journey, you'll come to find that you are the chosen Roxakar, or warrior, of your clan to compete in this year's Roxaka Proving, a yearly pilgrimage through the clanlands of Ilor made by Ilor's strongest young warriors. In order to prove themselves worthy of joining the ranks of the Roxaka, the Onagativan governing body, and protectors of the Onagativan realm. Once you've started your Roxaka Proving, you'll come to notice it's not the peaceful pilgrimage you were expecting. Dala Maze is crawling with ravenous mutated beasts and Kotakain warriors, something never seen before by the Roxakar who've come before you. You will do your best to fight through the hordes of crazed mutants and angry Kotakaya, level and upgrade your character's stats, magic abilities, and feline abilities, and customize your character with the various unique armor sets and weapons you'll find throughout your journey, in order to build the strength required to make it through your Roxaka Proving in one piece, and find out why the clanlands of Ilor are cursed. Kristalla is essentially the game of my dreams. I have been so lucky to have such an incredible team to aid in its creation. I cannot wait to share the stories of Ilor with the rest of the world in early 2024.
I'm so excited to announce that the winner is Kristalla. Congratulations. You're receiving $10,000 in additional marketing support from AT&T. Alexis, congrats.
Thanks. Super stoked.
Yeah, and I mean, everybody in the chat was like freaking out. I'm really excited to see more of these cat arcane warrior people. Really great job.
Thanks.
So thank you so much. Really great work. We can't wait to see these Cat Souls game. And congratulations to all the winners here. Really great work.
Participated and watched the AT&T Unlocked Games Showcase this year. This has been a truly amazing and inspiring night, as well as an important spotlight for women working in game development. We can't wait to see more from all of these talented creators as they inspire others to find their own place within this industry.
Do not forget to keep checking AT&T's Twitch channel and social channels to learn about upcoming events. We cannot wait to see what's coming next. Thank you so much for watching, and have a wonderful evening.